Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar, and I'm actually pretty darn disappointed. So, Steam restarted, and I do that thing, I'm clicking through the Steam stuff here on the news, like, oh, what's interesting here? Let's see, that doesn't look that cool. Like, it might be, but it doesn't catch my eye. I don't even know what this is. This looks like a World War II first person shooter, not really my jam. And then I get to hear Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14. Now you're going, 14 parts for a series of games? Yeah, this is the jam. This stuff has been going on since the NES days. Um, I think I rented Romance of the Three Kingdoms 1 once upon a time, but I think my first entry into the series was Romance of the Three Kingdoms Part 3, a game that was so good that after renting it, I bought it. I've also rented Part 2. I love these old Koei games going all the way back to there's stuff on the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. Genghis Khan, excellent game. I didn't like Bandit Kingdoms of Ancient China or Nobunaga's Ambition nearly as much as the Genghis Khan and Romance of the Three Kingdoms games. Heck, there's even a PC only game they did in the 90s called Balor of the Evil Eye that's based on Celtic mythology. That was pretty cool. I don't think I've ever actually beaten that game, but it's sure a lot of fun to play. So I've played a lot of Romance of the Three Kingdoms games. I've done number 1, number 2, number 3, maybe number 4 on the original PlayStation. I think I might have rented that. But then 7, 8, and 10 are like really gold standard. They're all very different kinds of games from each other. In fact, this series, most of the entries are fairly different from the previous entries, especially once you get up to the PS2 era. Those games really started to vary, and like Romance of the Three Kingdoms 9 was kind of a almost a real-time strategy game. It's kind of hard to explain, and I didn't like that one at all. So I see this, and I'm like, yes. And so I click through, which takes me to here, and I'm looking at some of these screens. I'm like, okay, I'm not quite sure what this is. Maybe it's an org chart or something. You're like organizing the army. That could be kind of cool. Looking here, it's like a hex grid on the world map. That feels weird because the games I'm used to, the cities are arranged on like a node diagram. You have a node and then paths going in and out of it. You don't move freely on the map. You move from city to city, and combat takes place out of phase with the like nation simulation part. This looks more like it's trying to ape Civ 5. I mean, if you look at this could be a Civ 5 game. So I'm kind of disappointed in that. But you know what? I'm still like, all right, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna watch the trailer. So let's watch the trailer. Let me turn the sound on.
我が前に敵はおらぬ。
There we go. All right, I think you get it. There's still some play for the trailer there, but I think you get the idea. And I see a lot of stuff in there that doesn't make me think of Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Now I went looking. I'm like part 14. I was trying to remember like what was the last one I played, and so I went to Steam because it was convenient, and I started looking around. Like, all right, what do we got here? It's like I know this one for sure. This is a really cool game. If I remember this one, It's actually more like a role playing game. You don't even have to play a ruler. You don't even have to play somebody that works for a ruler. You can be like a free officer and roam around the map and go sort of adventuring. It's not the best kind of adventuring, but you can do it. It's cool. It's really cool. Ah, yes, it's a little dual screen. It's goofy looking, but you got to like strategize. There's some rock paper scissors kind of stuff going on. And all in all, this is a fun little game. And then I was looking. It's like nine. I mentioned that one. That's one that looks like a. That's kind of like a real time strategy game. I'm trying to find like a picture of the overworld combat, and of course there's not one. Thanks Koei. I own this one. I got it for like $20 or something on sale, and I played it like one time, and I was like, I'm out. And I was looking here at like 11. This doesn't look familiar to me at all. I don't think I've played this. This does not ring a bell. 12 definitely doesn't ring a bell. And I was looking at when these things came out. This came out in 2012, so I definitely know I wasn't playing it. So I think the last one I played was 10. And if I'm honest, I wish more of the games had followed the lead of this one. It kept that dichotomy between the two layers of map, and it added a whole little role playing kind of aspect because you could befriend officers, you could like hang out with them. If the conditions were right, you could try to assassinate somebody you were having dinner with. Like, there's all kinds of crazy stuff you could do in this. When I come back here and I look at this, I see what's basically a war game first and foremost. You see the territory control on the map. This looks just like a Civ game. It uses a hex grid like Civ 5. You got units moving around on the overworld map where the cities are. So what? You just like spit troops out from the city and then you just march them around? That's civilization to me. So I am extremely disappointed. I was hoping for something that would be amazing, something that would make me go, you know what? I know it's not available in English. I'm going to buy it anyway. I'm going to hope there's going to be a fan patch in like a month or something that'll make it so that I can understand my menu options, if nothing else. But having watched the trailer, having looked at all the screenshots, my hype levels vanished. And honestly, I'm looking at this. It doesn't really look any better than the PlayStation 2 era games. It really doesn't. In fact, I'm pretty sure some of these art assets they're using are the same art, like the same portraits of the different leaders. Either that or they've just gotten somebody to draw them in the exact same style. It's a little disappointing. I guess I shouldn't be disappointing because Koei kind of had that habit. You know, they've released how many Dynasty Warrior games that were just the same game? You know what I mean? You know, you got Dynasty Warriors 4, Dynasty Warriors 4 Extreme, Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires. I'm sure there's another one out there. Empires was pretty dope, by the way. You should give that a try. And I guess, you know, why do something completely new? And of course, they don't release these things on Steam in English. I don't know why, because I would have bought basically their back catalog. In fact, I was just looking at that. Their back catalog of games on Steam is frankly incredible. If you go down here to strategy, these are some absolutely fantastic games, like this one, Genghis Khan 2. If this is the PC port, it has worse graphics than the. Hey, no music. It has worse graphics than, say. No, this looks a lot like the Genesis version. I was gonna say it has worse graphics than the console versions, but it looks like it's got the same color palette. So I don't know where this port came from. I own the original on a CD somewhere. Its graphics are not this crisp, but this is a great game, and they already have an English version of it. So it baffles me that they're not releasing that same version. These are some really classic strategy games, and I wish they were available out there. Sorry, I guess I gotta click back to strategy. And I wish they were available out there so that people could actually go play these things today, because these are some fantastic games. And apparently, I've just broken Steam, so whatever. I'm not going to be clicking around anymore. But I'm pretty disappointed. I was really hoping. I was really hoping I'd be able to get me some Romance of the Three Kingdoms action, and it does not look like I'm going to be able to.
我が前に敵はおらぬ
Shut up, bro. I don't even care anymore. So that's my big disappointment for the day. It kind of stinks. I hope you all are having a great day though. And if you're familiar with like these old Koei strategy games, or some of their business other stuff was pretty cool. They had like a business sim, Aerobiz. That is a ton of fun. That's on the Super Nintendo, probably on the Genesis too. Absolutely fantastic. Ruined me for airplane or like airline sims. Like I tried to play one that came out on the PC from Sierra a few years later, and it just didn't compare at all. Um, so this got my nostalgia hopes up, and then it immediately just kind of crashed them. Bummer. Take care of yourselves, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you next time, I sure hope. Bye bye.